Many people ask, what has Prophet Muhammad prophesied? But as Yeshua foretold, when the Comforter would come, he would tell you about things to come. And Muhammad expounded on what we find in the books of Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and on the words that Yeshua left about the end of time and the appearance of the Antichrist, also known as the Dajjal. And so we must understand that the Antichrist is a system. And when we analyze the endeavors of the Antichrist and the recital of events on the ground, we will find that there are major and minor characters who are forwarding the Antichrist agenda. And so there are several locations and places that we must look for the manifestation of the Antichrist, but we have been told that there is no place in the world that he will not appear and cause destruction. And this destruction will be the worst that has ever existed since the beginning of mankind and since the beginning of human history. And so the Prophet said, أن الدجال يخرج من أرض بالمشرق يقال لها خراسان. So we know that Khorasan is one of the places that we will see the Antichrist or the Dajjal emerge. So what are we looking for? We are looking for his activity. And the activities that we watch play out on the ground are indications of his presence, because the Dajjal is working in concert with the jinn. And through deception and through misinterpretation, much of this is hidden from the eyes of mankind in plain sight. He says, يَتَابَعُوهُ أَقْوَمٌ كَأَنَا وُجُهَاهُمُ الْمَاجَنُ الْمُتْرَكَاتُ. So this Dajjal that we will see come forth from Khorasan will be followed by people with faces like hammered shields. These things have taken place in our viewing. He says that Dajjal maktubun bayna aynahi ka-fa-ra. And there will be three letters, ka-fa-ra, between the eyes of the Dajjal. Kafara spells kafir. So we understand the essence of his activity will be in accordance with unbelief. And these will be the base and the foundation of his intention in all of his endeavors. And so we also find it written in the hadith, تَخْرُجُ مِنْ خُرَاسَانَ رَايَةُ سُودٌ لَا يَرُدُوهَا شَاءٌ حَتَّى تُنْسَبَ بِالْإِلْيَةِ. So he says that the black standards will come from Khorasan, and nothing shall turn them back until they are planted in Jerusalem. So in the hadith we also find a description of the Dajjal. And this must be looked at in context with the entire Dajjalic system and the reality thereof. He says, Inna Allah la yakfa alaykum. Inna Allah laysa bi awwara. Wa ashra bi yadihi ila aynihi. Wa inna al-masikha ad-dajjala awwaru al-ayn. Al-yumna ka'ana aynahu inabatun tafiyatun. And so he says, Allah is not hidden from you. He is not one-eyed and pointed with his hand toward his eye, adding, while al-Masih ad-Dajjal is blind in the right eye, and his eye looks like a protruding grape. So amongst the agents who are working in concert with the agenda of the Dajjal, the prophet described a specific character, because we understand that the Dajjal is indeed a system, a beast-like system, as the scriptures describe. And so there are many who have the mark of his purpose and who are working in concert with his agenda. But through the prophet, a specific individual was described in order to shed light on the concerted effort that we will be able to see and observe with our faculties and senses. And so we must understand that these black banners will be connected to the other black banners that will appear as they have appeared all over the world. And we must understand that the black banners and those who are working in concerted effort for those endeavors are supported by the force of the Dajjal. And that force is hidden behind governments and secret institutions. Because he says, وَإِنَّهُ يَخْرُجُ مِنْ كَالَةٍ بَيْنَ الشَّامِ وَالْعِرَاقِ فَيَأْتُ يَمِينًا وَيَأْتُ شِمَالًا. And he will emerge between Sham and Iraq and will wreak havoc right and left. So we will find widespread destruction in Iraq, a laying waste and a devastation, disorder and chaos, and complete disruption. And so we have to make the connection. And to make that connection, we must use what we find in prophecy. He says, وَفِي نَاجِدْ هُنَّكَ الْزَلَازِلُ وَالْفِتَّنُ وَبِهَا يَطْلُعُ قَرْنُ الشَّيْطَانِ. And so we understand that he says in the place of Najd, and this is located in Arabia, that we will find a horn, the horn of the opposer, understanding that a horn is a symbol of power and strength. And so this word signifies there will be a place in Najd that will reflect power and glory and an actual state. And it will describe a generation and a place in time. It will be capable of subduing. And we see clearly that it will be working in tangent with the Dajjal or the Antichrist. And it will be connected to these appearances and these black flags that we find popping up in various places in the world. And it will be the source of much affliction and chaos. And they will fight against the Mahdi. Many people ask what has